G'day everyone, and welcome to another Tempest video. I'm just back from the Yalgoo Project shortly ago, and today we've got some news out regarding the very same project. I presume you're here to hear about that announcement, so let's get straight into it. Here we have our customary key points and the summary text. The headline today is that at the Yalgoo Project, we've got approvals to drill at the Halo target, and we've also been conducting a reasonable sized heritage survey at a number of areas that we'd also like to progress towards drilling. On the next page, we've got some background information on the project with a stack of references as always for those of you who want more information. You'll see here that we've mentioned some of the big wins that we've had in the last 9 months or year really, particularly at Remorse with our exciting iron ore deposit that's emerging there. We think in all likelihood that Halo will end up being something very similar to that and quite possibly much bigger than Remorse, in fact. Here there's a little enigmatic reference to copper and gold exploration. I mean, while we found quite a big iron deposit here in Yalgoo recently, we were of course here originally mostly, we've always got our eyes open for anything, but we were mostly looking for copper and gold. This hasn't ended by any means, and as I've said on a number of occasions recently, in fact even at Remorse, the drilling didn't adequately explain how much copper is in the soil there. So what I haven't spoken about as much is that if we look at the data, there's equally big copper anomalies at Halo, and in fact a couple of the samples are even higher grade. So while we're drilling into something that we're pretty confident there's going to be a fair bit of iron there, we are also keeping our eyes open and targeting some of our drill designs onto some of these other anomalies as well. I'm going to have some more news devoted purely to that topic coming up, so stay tuned on that one. Back to the heritage for a moment. As you can see in the photo on the previous page, if I scroll up here, there's the team from the Badamaya people there getting into it. I think it was on the first or second day. We've been at it out there since last week, and I believe that work should be finishing up today. And on that, I want to give a quick thank you to everyone involved that made this happen. There was quite some challenges and a pretty tight timeline, but we've got it done. So the next steps are obviously finish that work up. Then we've got some geology model updates and some design work and planning and such to get into. And then we'll start looking at possibly poking some holes in the near future. And this week we've got a new section in the announcement, elsewhere in the portfolio. Generally, we resist doing this. I note that over the years, most investors and people I speak to say that many other companies have too much overlapping information regarding multiple projects, and it can get confusing when they're reading announcements. So at Tempest, we generally like to make the announcements succinct and also devoted to a single topic. But today I make an exception because I want to highlight to everyone, particularly you guys watching on YouTube, that we've got a lot on. In addition to the work at Yalgoo I've just been outlining, we're also kicking off 2 lots of field work at the Range project, and we've also got drilling coming in the next week or 2. So I would say that's a fair bit of news coming up. To stay on top of all the latest developments, as always, I recommend that you subscribe to the YouTube channel that you're currently watching, and you also visit the investor section of our website. Thanks very much for watching. I'd say I would have another video out to you in the next few days, actually, but until then.